Something to you from Crisis and Conflict in Nigeria by A.H.M. Kirk Green. This is from the 1940s, and we're going to go from there to the issues of the minority, which is what we're discussing today, and then we'll have the next person speak. So again, this is Crisis and Conflict in Nigeria by A.H.M. Kirk Green. In 1945, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, himself an Igbo, advocated in his book, The Political Blueprint of Nigeria, a federal form of government for Nigeria and division of federation into 8 states. By 1947, when the Richard Constitution was being considered in government circles in Lagos and the Colonial Office in London, ethnic group consciousness had become a fact of life in Nigeria. The first ethnic cultural organization, the Igbo Union, was born around this time. Actually, it was born before 1947, but that's why I said by 1947. So, Igbo was the first group, and then the Igbo, then later Igbo Modudua. But let me continue. The first ethnic cultural organization, the Igbo Union, was born at this time. Others sprang up about, like the Igbo Union, which became more political in character than the pioneer Igbo Union. So listen to what he just used to qualify Igbo Union. Others sprang up, but like the Igbo Union, became more political in character than the pioneer Igbo Union. From the very word go, Igbo Union was political. Igbo Union was cultural. Egbe Omodudua was cultural. And this is actually a very, very important point. This is not where we're going, but it's just important for me to note it. Igbo Federal Union was political from the word go. The Yorubas created Egbe Omodudua in London in 1945, and then in 1948 they re-established it in Ife and Lagos. The whole idea was a socio-cultural organization. It didn't become political until 1951 when Egbe Omodudua morphed into Action Group. But what's interesting is the fact that even when they were just socio-cultural, Igbo Federal Union was against them. But let's continue. Unfortunately, Sir Arthur Richards ignored the diversity of the cultures and peoples of Nigeria, and the Federation of 3 massive regions was imposed on Nigeria on 2nd August 1946, when the Richards Constitution was promulgated. Agitation for ethnic group self-determination and cultural sovereignty grew in the late 1940s. Events fed the flames of agitation. In 1945, a prominent Igbo lawyer, Charles Onyeama, a member of the Central Legislative Council, said in a public statement in Lagos, he said, "The Igbo domination of Nigeria is only a matter of time." And that's why you understand what happened in the 1960s, especially in the First Republic, even before the First Republic, from 1960 to the First Republic, how the Igbos dominated the Federal Civil Service. It was a planned work. And so when people tell you about, oh, he was killed, he was competent, it's a lie. As of 1945, Onyeama was already bragging about it. And so when we talk about Igbo domination and things like that, and the reason we're bringing this thing up is because there's some things that we've left unsaid for years in Nigeria, out of respect. But you have certain people who are not properly trained at home, who go everywhere insulting people because they don't know their own history. So we might as well bring out the history and respectfully state exactly where everybody is, so that we know exactly who we are in Nigeria and nobody gaslights or blackmails anybody with nonsense. In 1945, Charles Onyeama, an Igbo lawyer, said that the Igbo domination of Nigeria was only a matter of time. In 1947, Jaja Wajuku talked about Lagos being a no man's land. By 1953, when they had a constitutional conference, the Eastern region said, as far as they were concerned, Lagos was no man's land.